According to my net worth, I've been broke. The thing about it is that your finances are going to reflect the mindset that you have around money. Hey y'all, it's your girl Destiny. Let's consider this episode 3 of the Rediscovering Who I Am at 26 series. Ultimately, I've come to the conclusion that I have been broke for years and I didn't know it until I wanted to step into stewardship. Now when I say this because I'm going to be stewarding my finances a lot more better than I have before, which means, taking better care of my resources, taking better care of my money. And as I decided that I wanted to do that, I was using a budget planner that I got from one of my budget coach friends. And I was inserting all of my debt that I have into that planner. And I put, what my current assets are. And I realized that according to my net worth, I've been broke. I have been misusing my money so bad. And part of me would sit here and be all embarrassed and act like but honestly, it is what it is. And if we're gonna be really real, most of my debt comes from student loans and my car note. But I will say that my credit card debt had creeped up on me. My net worth is negative. And so now one of my biggest goals financially is to get out of debt. And my first actual goal is to pay off all of my credit card debt, because I'm supposed to be stewarding my finances now. 2, God does not want us to be in debt, because that then makes us a slave to whoever it is that we owe money to. Therefore, we can't necessarily do exactly what it is that God is pushing us to do, because we're indebted to somebody else. When I talk about being broke, in a sense, yes, I was talking about money, but we can say that I was broke in a lot of other ways too. Mentally, I was broke. I had a really tough relationship and mindset around money. Like, it was a very bad relationship. I had a very bad relationship with money. I mean, very bad. And that's because, I grew up in poverty, but which also made my relationship, my self-esteem, my confidence, my everything was just so low that overspending and spending money and swiping that credit card was like legitimately like retail therapy for me, because my self-esteem is so low, because I've always been broke, because it makes me feel good to just be able to buy what I want. It's a broke mindset too. That's the thing about being broke. The thing about it is that your finances are going to reflect the mindset that you have around money. And if we're talking about the life that I want to build for myself, my mindset around money can't be how it was, or I'll be broke forever. And that's what I feel like people don't really realize, that they be like chasing money and chasing money and chasing money, and like they never catch themselves coming out of the chase. You're gonna forever be chasing it. That's why the mindset has to change. So now that my mindset is set on stewardship, that's what I'm gonna be doing, stewarding my money. That's kind of what my mindset was chase the money, and then I want to be able to buy whatever I want. And those two together are horrible. They're horrible. I had a broke mindset, which is why I was broke, which is why I stayed broke. And now that is going to change. Now my mindset is different. My mind is revolved around stewardship, and that more money will come to you when you start handling your money better, when you start investing in yourself, when you start investing in businesses or your own business, when you start investing in knowledge, when you start investing in high yield savings accounts, when you just start investing the money instead of hoarding the money, letting the money sit, or spending the money on stuff that you feel like you need. Or not even feel like you need, just stuff that you want, because a lot of this stuff you don't need it. You don't need it. Stewardship. So if you are broke, if you feel like you don't got enough money, maybe you need to kind of budget and kind of figure out where all of that money is going, and figure out if you actually need more money, or if you're just misusing the money that God has already blessed you with. You're broke because you're focused on the wrong things. That's what I tell myself. So now I have to switch up what I'm actually focused on. I need to be focused on stewardship, not focusing on, how to keep up with the Joneses, not focusing on, hoarding my money because maybe I'm scared that there won't be enough, knowing that God is going to provide for me when I need what I need. Not focusing on chasing and running myself dry and burning myself out trying to just make some more money, but stewarding the money that God has already given to me. That's how you stop being broke. That's how I'm about to stop being broke. The person that I am today has realized this, but I tell you, the old me was struggling. And I just know I'm not that person anymore, because that's just something that I'm unwilling to do. I'm unwilling to burn myself out for anything, for anybody, except for God. I am unwilling to burn myself out. I am unwilling to put my body through the dust. I am unwilling to suffer because God wouldn't want that for me. And that's who I am today. Y'all, it's almost emotional, but it's actually very happy. Like, as I'm trying to rediscover who I am at 26. Literally just saying, like, that's the person that I am today. A person who is unwilling to let myself suffer or be burned out for anybody or for anything on this earth. That's the person who I am today, because that is not the person who I was. But yeah, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It will help me a lot. And it's free. Don't forget that it's free. I'll catch you in the next one.